Insan Muda. Are you ready to have a feast and sleep until the evening after?
105.9, stay cool and lovely. ARDAN Radio.
It's another beautiful Sunday morning, and of course, you are going to board today's flight because we are going to fly to the number one track this week on the coolest and loveliest chart in the world. This is your pilot speaking for today, and we're going to fly you out today to the number one this week on ARDAN Flight 40.
Sunday morning.
You're listening to 105.9 FM ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. Sunday morning by Maroon 5 Insan Muda. This marks as our first track this week on ARDAN Flight 40 because it's such a beautiful Sunday morning actually. I woke up feeling so energized. Maybe because I didn't take my sahur this day, I just slept all the way through. Well, usually I did eat first before I fast, but for today, I didn't. I literally slept all the way, and my mom and dad didn't even try to knock on my door because they know how tired I am from the night before. But I think, there's plus minus to that situation because I feel so energized, but at the same time, honestly, I'm hungry. But it's okay because I'm gonna fuel you up Insan Muda with the coolest and loveliest tracks this week on ARDAN Flight 40 because I'm gonna be welcoming you all, ladies and gentlemen, to ARDAN Flight 40 this week on the 768th edition on a beautiful 15th of March 2026 on another Sunday, of course. And I'm gonna be flying you all the way to the number one this week on ARDAN Flight 40 from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. We're gonna have some fun, so buckle up, sit tight, and hope you have a sure and fun flight. But before we start today's flight, we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye to the tracks that are out of the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40. So sad, but we have to say goodbye to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tracks this week. And coming up first, on out of the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40, we have David Guetta, Morton, and Trippie Redd with Locked In. This song has been on the chart for 6 weeks in a row, but we have to say goodbye because previously, the song was on the number 3 last week on ARDAN Flight 40. But we have to say goodbye. And coming up next, as our second track that are out of the chart this week, we have Harry Styles with Aperture, which I am quite confused actually on why Harry Styles, suddenly go to those kinds of genre. You get what I mean? But honestly, it's a bop. I love the song. I love how he interprets all the beautiful meanings, stuff through it. But you get what I mean. And the third track that are out of the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40, we have our very own Nona with Work. The song was the number one last week on ARDAN Flight 40, but sadly, we have to say goodbye. So, adios!
Out of chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40.
Put in that work, put in that work.
You're listening to your coolest and loveliest station. It's 105.9 FM ARDAN Radio. ARDAN Still Alive. That was Nona with Work Insan Muda as our third song that are out of the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40. Sadly, we have to say goodbye to those 3 songs that I've just played for you. But yeah, besides that, we still have a lot more list going on, and really sad to see this one go because the 4th songs that are out of the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40 came from December 10 with Run My Way. This song has been on the chart for 5 weeks in a row. And by the way, if you don't know who December 10 is, actually this is a boy group that Simon Cowell has formed. And if you don't know who Simon Cowell is the guy that formed One Direction. I actually forgot the name of the show. Is it American Idol? No, it's not American Idol, is it? What is the name of the show that One Direction is formed? What is the name? X Factor. Thank you, Oki. X Factor. And from those days on, actually, Harry Styles and then Niall and then Zayn, they all came individually. And then Simon just said, you guys should form a boy band. And, now they've become a total sensation, a total pop sensation. And seeing them, being active again on the music industry really made me happy. But yeah, December 10 is a group that is formed by the same person that formed One Direction, which is Simon Cowell himself. So Really happy, but really sad to see this one go. But hopefully we could meet again on their other singles. The 5th songs that are off the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40, we also have Meek with Fabulous. 5 weeks also on the chart, and previously, this track sits on the 9th position on ARDAN Flight 40 last week. And last but not least, the 6 positions that are out of the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40, we have Labyrinth with Debris. And this song has been on the chart, same, 5 weeks in a row, but sadly, we have to say goodbye. So, see you on another track, and adios!
Out of chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40.
You're listening to 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. That was Debris by Labyrinth and Sanmuda as our 6th songs that are out of the chart this week on Arden Flight 40. Really sad to see this one go actually, because I kind of get the vibe, you know. I feel like it's fun. I feel like it's really easy listening. And Labyrinth, of course, talking about himself, he's great. He's totally great. And by the way, happy Sunday for all of you that just tuned in on www.ardenradio.com, or I'm doing a live TikTok on my own personal account on @Zahwa Aaliyah. If you want to check it out, you could just pick between those two, because nowadays you could listen to Arden anywhere. We have our own website at www.ardenradio.com. And today, I am going to be flying you as our pilot for today. This is Awa speaking. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard on Arden Flight 40. This is the 768th edition on the beautiful 15th of March 2026. And we have the last 2 songs that are off the chart this week on Arden Flight 40. So sad, but we have to say goodbye to the main, Die to Fall. This song by Warner has been on the chart for 5 weeks in a row, and previously it is placed on the 7th position on Arden Flight 40 last week. And last but not least, as our last, but certainly not least, out of the chart this week on Arden Flight 40, we have Lawrence Spencer Smith with Natural Disaster. Ooh. It's the same as the main for the duration of this track on Arden Flight 40. It has been on the chart for 5 weeks in a row, but sadly, we have to say goodbye. See you on the next Flight 40, I guess.
Out of chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40.
Natural disaster.
It's 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. And you're still listening to Arden Flight 40 in Sanmuda, Natural Disaster by Lawrence Spencer Smith. This marks our last track that are off the chart this week on Arden Flight 40. Really sad to see this one go, so please, I want everyone to say goodbye to them because their songs are actually remarkable. Really love them. We have 8 songs that are out of the chart this week on Arden Flight 40, sadly, but it's okay, because we're gonna meet them again on their next upcoming masterpiece. Amen. But for now on in Samuda, because we had said our goodbyes to the tracks that are out of the chart this week on Arden Flight 40, so now is our time to jump straight to our first destination on Arden Flight 40. We have our newest entry this week on Arden Flight 40, on number 40. We have Mo with Honey Ban. Ooh. And I want to say congratulations actually, because the release of Mo's latest single, the music video, is actually have been viewed over 17,000 times. And that is such a big number, guys. Honestly, that's such a big number. So here you go, the newest entry this week on Arden Flight 40.
New entry this week.
Number 40.
That was Honeybine by Mo and Samuda as our number 40 this week on Arden Flight 40, and also our newest entry this week on Arden Flight 40. Congratulations for Mo. Honestly, this song is so cute. I feel like I get the Y2K vibes on it. You get what I mean? Because like, it's fun, it's easy listening, and it has some kind of a bumpy vibe into it. So I think this is like the perfect song if you go out with your friends and you're wearing that Y2K shirt on you, and you have that kind of a grayish, silvery jewelry, those kinds of stuff. If you have a Y2K aesthetic, I think this would be the perfect song for your, Instagram post feed music. But anyways, that was our number 40 this week on Arden Flight 40, and we're gonna go ahead to our next destination, which we have on number 39, Steven Sanchez with Love, Love, Love. This is our number 39 this week on Arden Flight 40, and also the newest entry this week on Arden Flight 40. In his new album, the multi-platinum singer-songwriter actually explores the various meanings of love, ranging from relationships with partners and friends to those around us, and even single people. And these themes are conveyed through like the signature vocals and a bright pop-infused sound. And the song Love, Love, Love itself actually reinforced about like the album's message about the importance of showing affection to others, even when it isn't always reciprocated in the same way. And I think if you have a reciprocating love, this song is gonna hurt you in the heart.
New entry this week.
Number 39.
Just what the world needs, just what we all need.
That was Love, Love, Love by Steven Sanchez and Sanmuda as our newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40, sitting on number 39 this week on ARDAN Flight 40. Honestly, it's such a cute song because I feel like, you know, songs that are love songs but is not too overly pop, because I like those kinds of love songs that you could sway into, you could dance into, and you could just like, you know, soak in the moment of the evening and the sunset, beautiful sunset evening. You get what I mean? Because like Steven Sanchez's voice is actually so mesmerizing, and I really love that the fact that he made the song. I don't know why I didn't, you know, use it on Valentine's Day. Has it been released on Valentine's Day? We never know, but there's always next year. But right now in Sanmuda, you're still listening to ARDAN Flight 40 with your pilot speaking for today. This is Zahwa, and I'm going to be flying you to the number 1 this week on ARDAN Flight 40. And we're going to move on to our next destination, which we have another newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40. Sitting on number 38, we have aespa with Attitude. And this song actually features like confident lyrics about the determination to stay true to one's own rhythm and maintain an authentic sense of self. The song highlights a building beat in the chorus and an addictive melody, while aespa's signature powerful and like elegant voices further enhance the dynamic energy and fast-paced narrative of the main character, Ogami Juzo. And honestly, speaking about aespa, I would never ever underestimate them because they are so amazing. I really love all of their songs, none other than this newest song on ARDAN Flight 40 this week, also in Sanmuda. So here you go, aespa with Attitude, only on ARDAN Flight 40. Let's go!
New entry this week.
Number 38.
It's on a 5.9 FM ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. That was Attitude by aespa, sitting on number 38 this week on ARDAN Flight 40. And, of course, you're still listening to ARDAN Flight 40 with me, your pilot speaking for today. And that is our newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40 as well in Sanmuda. And we're going to go ahead and fly to our next destination because on number 37, we have another newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40, which came from Jake collaborating with John Somi, Moon Boy. Ooh. Actually, this collaboration shocked me because I didn't expect them to have a song together, but Moon Boy is a captivating and catchy romantic pop song that captures the joy of falling in love wholeheartedly. And Jake's signature falsetto blends perfectly with John Somi's soft vocals, showcasing their expertise as singer-songwriters with an unforgettable melody. And even before the single's official release, guys, this duet had been in the works since last year. In late 2025, Jake brought Somi on as a surprise guest during his concert in Seoul, where they performed Moon Boy live for the first time. So here you go. You excited?
New entry this week.
Number 37.
You're listening to your coolest and loveliest station. It's 105.9 FM ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. This is ARDAN Flight 40, and we're going to be flying you to the number 1 this week on ARDAN Flight 40 with the coolest and loveliest track this week on the chart, and that was Tonto by J Balvin, also Ryan Castro and DJ Snake and Sanmuda, sitting on the 36th position this week on ARDAN Flight 40. But this is not our newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40, because coming up next, number 35, we have my favorite newest entry this week also. because I really love this guy. Honestly, I watched his concert. I spent a lot of money, spent a lot of time, spent a lot of energy liking him. No other than Bruno Mars with Nothing Left. On number 35 this week as our newest entry. Woo! Actually, he released his first album in 10 years. What a long way for me to wait. And it's titled Romantic. The Romantic, that's the album. And the album features 9 tracks with a total runtime of 31 minutes, making it kind of like a brief, yet still delightful showcase of the pop star's latest work in his illustrious catalog. I really love it because it is recorded with a live band. The Romantic actually offers a refreshing authenticity compared to the ubiquitous electronic sounds of today. So Bruno Mars actually crafts a highly diverse musical experience, drawing inspiration from bolero, mariachi, dance punk, and also disco. So give it up for my one true love. This is Bruno Mars on ARDAN Flight 40.
New entry this week.
Number 35.
That was Bruno Mars with Nothing Left in Samuda, sitting on the number 35 this week on ARDAN Flight 40 as our newest entry this week also on ARDAN Flight 40. Feels like I'm original. Honestly, this song is a bop. If you are like really heartbroken, okay, imagine this. You're driving in a car, it's 2 a.m. outside, the wind is breezy, and it has just finished raining, and you were so heartbroken with the fact that, you know, he left you or she left you, and you feel like you've got nothing left to reach out, so you cried yourself out. This is the perfect song for it. Nothing Left by Bruno Mars and Samuda. Gosh, how I love Bruno Mars. And that's enough about Bruno Mars and Samuda, because I'm gonna talk on and on. It's not gonna be, you know, a short time to talk about Bruno Mars himself, but we're gonna move on to our next destination because you're still listening to ARDAN Flight 40 with your pilot speaking for today. This is Zahwa speaking, and I'm gonna be flying you through the coolest and loveliest tracks this week on ARDAN Flight 40. And on number 34 is our next newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40. We have Harry Styles with American Girls. And according to Styles, in an interview with Apple Music, the song American Girls was actually inspired by his personal experience of watching 3 of his close friends get married. And the moment made him start to kind of like reflect on life, love, and the future. Ooh, kind of a deep song, to be honest. He said that the song is actually quite like a lonely one, as it captures the feelings of someone who watches the people around them find life partners while he is still navigating life on his own. And honestly, because Eid is coming right up the corner, I think this is going to be relatable because you're going to be asking a lot of questions and you're going to hear a lot of people ask questions about kapan nikah?
New entry this week.
Number 34.
You're listening to 105.9 FM ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. And you're still tuning in on ARDAN Flight 40 with your pilot for today. This is Zahwa, and I'm going to be flying you to the coolest and loveliest tracks this week on ARDAN Flight 40. Of course, that was Kill It Queen by Ava Max and Sanmudez, sitting as our number 33 this week on ARDAN Flight 40. Honestly, it's such a bop. And gosh, I really love her, honestly, because these kinds of songs are the ones that, you know, could pump up your mood or maybe like boost up your confidence and energy throughout the day. And especially because, like, you know, it's Ramadan. It's the time where you fast. It's the time where you have to, you know, control your mood and don't be angry all the time. And of course, kalau ngomongin soal Ramadan juga sih insan muda, itu tuh momen yang pas banget buat quality time bareng keluarga. Entah itu ngabuburit bareng, buka puasa di luar, atau short escape tipis-tipis keluar kota. Mau jalan-jalan bareng keluarga atau keliling kota, pastinya butuh mobil yang nyaman dong insan muda. Nah, pas banget nih. Spesial di bulan Ramadan ini, Kia hadir di Bandung lewat Mall Exhibition di 23 Pascal Mall Bandung. Mulai tanggal 9 sampai 15 Maret 2026, which hari ini terakhir ya. ada 2 mobil keren yang bisa kamu tuin, yaitu the all new Karens yang spacious banget, nyaman buat keluarga dan fiturnya lengkap. Serta ada the new Sonnet, itu compact SUV yang stylish dan cocok banget buat city drive. Dan menariknya lagi, ada garansi 7 tahun atau 200.000 km dan garansi parts selama 12 bulan atau 20.000 km. Selama exhibition, kamu bisa banget nih explore dan test drive secara langsung, rasain experience fitur advance-nya, tanya-tanya kebutuhan kendaraan ke sales consultant, dan yang pastinya kamu juga akan dibantu untuk kasih saran mobil Kia yang cocok untuk kamu. Jadi jangan sampai ketinggalan ya insan muda. Datang sekarang ke booth Kia 23 Pascal dari tanggal 9 sampai 15 Maret 2026. Kia, movement that inspires. And I'm honestly feeling really inspired today because we're gonna talk about the coolest and loveliest tracks this week on ARDAN Flight 40, of course. So without further ado, we have another newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40 Insan Muda. In number 32, we have Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, with David Guetta, Save Me Tonight. Ooh. J-Lo has officially teamed up with DJ David Guetta on her latest single, Save Me Tonight. And actually, J-Lo previously teased the song during her performance at the World Pride Music Festival last summer and during her Up All Night Live in 2025 tour. This collaboration actually marks J-Lo's first musical release since her involvement in the Kiss of the Spider-Woman soundtrack last year. Sounds really dope, don't it?
New entry this week.
Number 32.
J-Lo and David Guetta in Samudel with Save Me Tonight as our newest entry this week on ARDAN Flight 40. It's such a fun song. I mean, David Guetta never fails, and J-Lo's vocals, really impressive. If you like these types of EDM songs, I think you would really like this one, and I think you could, definitely add it to your playlist sooner or later. And of course, I'm still here, and I'm still going to be playing you only the coolest and loveliest track this week on ARDAN Flight 40 because it is time for us to meet our hotshot debut this week on ARDAN Flight 40 in Samudra. And I'm really excited because our hotshot debut this week came from one of my favorite girl groups of all time, and it is a K-pop girl group. Are you? Oh, not are you? Sorry, grammar error. Do you know who the hotshot debut this week in Samudra? There you go. Our hotshot debut this week on ARDAN Flight 40 is. Congratulations for Blackpink with Champion as our hotshot debut this week, sitting on the 31st position on ARDAN Flight 40. And this comeback actually feels even more emotional because it coincides with the celebration of Blackpink's 10-year journey in the music industry, aka 10-year anniversary. Oh, really proud of my girls. Of course, 10 years is no small feat for a group to remain at the peak of popularity, and the album Deadline was conceived as a special gift to celebrate their 10th debut anniversary, which falls in 2026. And I'm really, really excited to see them perform live in Jakarta. Anyone else? Show of hands?
Hotshot debut this week on ARDAN Flight 40.
Number 31.
What a fun and lovely song from Blackpink and Sanwoo-dae as our hotshot debut this week on ARDAN Flight 40, Champion by Blackpink. I really love it. It's such an energizing song to really pump up your mood and boost up your confidence because the lyrics itself is really self-encouraging. And I really love that they made these kinds of songs because it's such a bop. Any blinks here, by the way? Show of hands. Because I actually stand them from 2017, 2018-ish. And the last time I met them was when they went to Jakarta on Ice Best Day. Yeah, Ice Convention Center. Yeah, those venue. Yeah, that venue. On 2019, and I went to the soundcheck, and Rose and Jisoo actually noticed me. I don't know, maybe because I'm still a kid back then, and my father was accompanying me to watch that concert. And it happened when I was doing the sound check. So long story short, it is like, 2019, I'm still a child. I'm still a teenager, I think. And the stage is actually shaped like a T kind of things. And I went along and I stand in front of the barricade at the really, really, really corner of the T, the horizontal line T. Yeah, I stand like literally at the end of the stage. Even though I'm still in the front, the security said, they don't usually go here because, it's the end of the stage. So I think you would be better off, go ahead to the vertical side of the stage. And I was like, nah, I'll just stay here. And they actually went up and came to me. And my father lifted me up on his shoulder. And I said hi to Rose and Jisoo. And they said hi back. And that was such a memorable experience for me. And I really wanted to see them perform live. Hopefully on 2026. But for now on in Samuda, I'm still gonna be flying you all to the coolest and loveliest track this week on ARDAN Flight 40, because we have on number 30 Alex Warren with Fever Dream. This song has climbed up 8 positions since last week on the chart, Flight 40, and even though it's still 2 weeks on the chart, this song has been on my mind since forever, because Alex Warren, I think his characterism is like, it really suits a Viking concept. Do you get what I mean? If you watch How to Train Your Dragon, you would know the vibe that Alex Warren is kind of like going to, and I think it's gonna be perfect for How to Train Your Dragon movie. And coming up next on number 29, it came from yet another song from their newest album, Blackpink with Me and My. This song has been on the chart for 2 weeks in a row and has climbed up 8 positions since last week. Congratulations. And last but not least, on number 28, this is my new personal favorite song. We have Flower of Love with Casual Lady. This song is kind of like a bump up. So if you like doing makeup while listening to music, if you're like me, I think this song is totally gonna be the right song for you. So here you go in Samuda, the songs that are on the chart this week on ARDAN Flight 40.
Number 30.
It's 105.9 FM ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. That was Casual Lady by Flower of Love, and it's such a cute song. I mean, if you get what I mean, I already told you that this song is perfect for all of you, especially girlies, if you are doing your makeup and all of that stuff, and if you're the type of girl that likes to enjoy and listen to music to pump yourself up for the day, to prep yourself up for the day, this song is perfect for you. Flower of Love by Casual Lady. It's easygoing, it's really fun, it has a boppy vibe to it, and it's on ARDAN Flight 40, so it's totally approved by me. And of course, you're still listening to ARDAN Flight 40. This is the 768th edition, by the way, and because that is the number 28 this week on ARDAN Flight 40, we're gonna go ahead and fly to our next destination, which we have Nightingale Lane by Ray on number 27 this week in San Miguel. And talking about, Ray's single Nightingale Lane, actually, she jokingly posted on TikTok that she placed the plaque on her ex-boyfriend's favorite pub so he would never forget. The plaque officially reads, Ray experienced the greatest heartbreak she has ever known here, 27th February 2019. And that is so cute, though, because this song is actually her greatest heartbreak. She installed like a commemorative blue plaque outside the Nightingale pub in Balham. So if you are going to visit that, I personally wanted to visit that, but I don't actually have that kind of money to do that, but sooner, hopefully. And coming up next on number 26, we also have a collaboration between K-pop sensational girl group aespa with Anderson .Paak, Keychain. And this song is actually, it's a song that Anderson .Paak made for his newest and of course coolest movie coming up, K-pop. It's actually a really fun movie. I really wanted to watch it sometime. But yeah, this song is going to be the lead single for the film K-Pops, which follows like an LA musician who discovers his long-lost son in a K-pop idol competition. And I think it's a very interesting, probe of the story because, it's such an interesting way to, start the story with a lost son in a K-pop dimension, all of that stuff. Really fun. And last but not least, on number 26, on number 25, we have one of my favorite songs as well from his newest album, Bruno Mars with Risk It All. I mean, should I say more? It's really nice. Really love him. All that mariachi sound, all that Latina kind of vibe to it. Really love it. And I think this is gonna be one of my wedding songs in the upcoming days. If I were to get married.
Number 27.
You're listening to 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. This is Arden Flight 40 in Samuda, and that was the number 25 this week on Arden Flight 40, Risk It All by Bruno Mars. This is the first track on the set album, The Romantic, which is his newest album, which I am deeply in love with. Actually, I don't recall having a moment where I don't like Bruno Mars songs. Because I'm a hooligan, and I'm proud of that. But from now on, I'm going to be your pilot for today in Sanmuda, because I'm going to be flying you through the coolest and loveliest tracks this week on Arden Flight 40, and I'm going to be accompanying you until 3 p.m. Maybe most of you are in your car, driving. Either it's, to shop for Eid clothes, I guess. Have you shopped for Eid clothes? You did? I haven't, actually, and I really wanted to spend my money on them, because last year I didn't bought any, and I feel so missed out. I have a FOMO because all of my family, they have this kind of like a dress code to them, and it's fun, and I want to be part of it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and find something to buy this year. But anyways, moving on, because I'm gonna be flying you to the next destination, which the number 24 track this week on Arden Flight 40, we have yet another song from Blackpink in Sanmuda with Go. This song has climbed up 8 positions since last week, and talking about Go itself in Sanmuda, it's actually the music video subtly incorporates traditional Joseon era ornamental patterns like the Sujamun, or wishing for long life, and Homun, which symbolize eternity, into like a futuristic world. So if you gonna go ahead and check out their music video, it resembles those kind of Korean culture appreciation as well. And coming up next, on number 23, we also have Your Favorite Toy by Foo Fighters in Sanmuda. And the most significant fun fact about this particular song is that it features Dave Grohl's 16-year-old daughter, Harper Girl, on backing vocals, which is so cute. Because me, myself, I really wanted to have a song of my own. Maybe soon, maybe later, we never know. And last but not least, on number 22, we also have Callum Scott collaborating with Aich, Unsteady. And honestly, when Callum first played the original solo version of Unsteady for Aich, the rapper reportedly asked for just like 1 hour to write and record his verse, which actually represents how creative they are. Really love him. So here you go in Samuda, the coolest and loveliest tracks this week, only on Arden Flight 40.
Number 24.
It's 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. That was Unsteady by Callum Scott featuring Aich in Sanmuda, which is a really, really nice song if you're looking for like a breezy kind of an afternoon, because you're still listening to Arden Flight 40. It's currently 1:14 p.m. And honestly, this song is a bop. The song is like really nice with a windy kind of vibe, especially since I'm kind of sleepy right now. But I'm still going to be flying you through the coolest and loveliest tracks this week on Arden Flight 40 in Sanmuda. We're going to go ahead and climb up to the next position, because at number 21, we have a song by Kygo featuring Khalid and Griffin with Save My Love. It is released on February 20th, 2026, and it actually marks the long-awaited reunion between Kygo and Griffin 4 years after their first hit collaboration, Woke Up in Love. This song has climbed up 8 positions since last week, with only 3 weeks on ARDAN Flight 40, which is really, really great. Congratulations. On number 20, we also have our biggest drop this week on ARDAN Flight 40, going down 15 positions since last week. We have Sia with Fist Fighting a Sandstorm, a song about mental health. This is really great for you who is struggling with those kinds of issues as well. I wish you well, and I wish you happy and good things ahead. Amen. And on number 19, we also have Melanie Martinez with Possession, which has been on the chart for 6 weeks in a row in San Miguel. So here you go, the tracks that are coolest and loveliest this week only on ARDAN Flight 40.
Number 21.
You're listening to 105.9 FM ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. That was Possession by Melanie Martinez and Samuda, sitting on the 19th position this week, only on ARDAN Flight 40. Honestly, it's such a good vibe today. I mean, talking about, how I am so sleepy before 3 songs, I feel like now the weather is so nice to just stroll around Bandung. And if you are in your car driving to anywhere, maybe you're searching for clothes for later at Eid, or maybe you're just like hanging out with your friends, or maybe doing your work stuff, have a good day, guys. Honestly. And this is still your pilot speaking for today. This is Zahwa, and I am still gonna be flying you through the number 1 track this week on ARDAN Flight 40. So we're gonna continue to our next destination, which on number 18, we have a song that climbed up 10 positions since ARDAN Flight 40 last week in San Muda. We have 21 Pilots with Drag Path. 3 weeks on the chart in San Muda, it has successfully climbed up 10 positions since last week, making it the number 18 this week on ARDAN Flight 40. And coming up next, we have the number 17 this week, Mumford & Sons with Gracie Abrams with Badlands. And honestly, this collaboration shocked me to the heart because I never actually thought that Gracie Abrams would be the perfect match to these types of songs. So if you're curious on how that one sounds, stay tuned. And last but not least, on number 16, this song has climbed up also 10 positions since last week. We have Thundercat and the late Mac Miller with She Know Too Much. This is such a vibey song, such a cute song as well, and it really, really makes me miss Mac Miller. May he rest in peace. And yeah, that is the tracks, the coolest and loveliest tracks on ARDAN Flight 40 this week. We shall give it a listen to it, shall we?
Number 18.
It's 105.9 FM, ARDAN Radio, ARDAN Still Alive. That was She Know Too Much by Thundercat and Mac Miller. And honestly, the song is a bop. I feel like I'm in some kind of like a Bob the Robber game, if you know what I'm saying. It's that online crib game where you be the robber and you have to kind of like steal stuff in order to advance to the next level, and you can't get caught. I feel like this song has that kind of a vibe to it. You know what I mean? And of course, you're still listening to ARDAN Flight 40 in San Muda on a beautiful Sunday, 15th of March, 2026. And this is the 768th edition of ARDAN Flight 40. Still with me, still with Zahwa, and I'm gonna save the day with, of course, the coolest and loveliest songs this week on ARDAN Flight 40, because on number 15, we have Save the Day by SZA. The song has climbed up 10 positions since last week. And talking about this song, SZA has never failed me, of course. And I think if SZA really do came to Jakarta, maybe soon, maybe later, I think I'm gonna be one of the person that's gonna be on the front line. Because I really love her. I really wanted to meet her someday. Soon. Amen. And coming up next on number 14, we have a song that is gonna lift up your spirit, especially if you feel like you're getting the hungriness in your stomach. Because at these times, it would be really nice to have, like an ice cream or, just a fun little snack to chew and munch on. But this song is the perfect vibe for you if you're really feeling down and you want a song that's kind of like an easygoing kind of a song, boppy kind of a song. On number 14, we have Claire Rosenkrantz with City. And last but not least, on number 13, we also have a song that has go down 10 positions since last week in San Muda. Wow. On number 13, we have Prep with Sunset Roller Coaster, Do What You Gotta. And honestly, talking about this song has been ARDAN's announcers' favorite these kinds of days. One of them is Salma. Salma really loved this song. And I think you would really like it if you are searching for a song to like kind of get through the afternoon with a kind of a chilly and windy vibe to it. So here you go, Insan Muda, the songs that are on the track this week on Ardan Flight 40.
Number 15.
It's 105.9 FM, Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. Do What You Gotta by Prep and Sunset Roller Coaster in Samuda. This song is the number 13 this week on Arden Flight 40. And of course, as I said, this song was on Arden's announcer's favorite playlist, especially Salmaya. I mean, she really likes this one. And personally, I really like this one as well because it has, you know, those kind of a stringy guitar and fun to vibe around and sing along in the car type of songs. And if you like those kinds of songs as well, I recommend you to put that on your playlist right away. But from now on, Samuda, I am still going to be flying you through the number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40 because we still have 12 more tracks to announce this week. We're going to start off with the number 12 because this song has climbed up 11 positions since last week, which we have Charlie XCX with Always Everywhere. And this song kind of like have a synthy classic vibe to it. I really love it. And honestly, I have been not lied to actually, but last year on La La La, because Tanash was there, Tanash had a special collaboration as well with Charlie XCX. And a lot of people have been saying that Charlie XCX would be like the special guest to Tanash stage, but I got fed up too, and it didn't happen. Maybe my expectations were too high. I don't know. Coming up next on number 11, we also have another song that has been on my playlist for 3 weeks. We have Meghan Trainor with Get In Girl, Get In Girl. Or sound like a musician, wannabe musician by the way. This song has climbed up 11 positions since last week and has stayed on Flight 40 chart for 4 weeks in a row. And it is a really fun vibe if you would search for a song to hype your girlfriends up because it's really cute. And coming up next onto the top 10 in Samuda, we have our most power airplay this week on Arden Flight 40, 108 with Tokyo Drift. This is honestly has been on my mind since I first listened to the song because it's a J-pop group that sample the legendary Tokyo Drift from Fast and Furious. So that makes sense. You know, it makes sense. So here you go, Samuda. The number 12, the number 11, and the number 10 this week, only on Ardan Flight 40.
Number 12.
Daddy got the wait. Watch though, you know we lit it, we turn to the spot close.
You're listening to 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. That was Tokyo Drift by 108 in Samuda as our most power airplay this week on Arden Flight 40. And that is on our number 10, which means we're getting closer to the number 1 track this week on Arden Flight 40. But before that, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you to the next songs that are on the chart this week. We have on number 9, Alan Walker with Sarana Void. And this song has climbed down, not climbed actually, but go down 8 positions since last week, making it and marking it as the 6 weeks on the chart. Yeah, 6 weeks. It has been on the chart for 6 weeks in a row. And Alan Walker and Sarana, I mean, the characterism of Alan Walker himself is already so iconic. And I think this song is gonna be, you know, on my father's mind for the past few days because he really loves Alan Walker. EDM, DJs, those stuff. My father really liked that one. So yeah. Coming up next on number 8, we also have Likalai with Lucky Again. This song has climbed up 13 positions since last week and it has been on the chart for only 4 weeks, which is really great. And last but not least, on number 7, we have a song from another K-pop girl group, which is IVE with Bang Bang. And talking about IVE themselves, one of the members named Wonyoung, I can't really get this out of my mind because I just know that the context of Wonyoungism is actually a concept that promotes like, you know, self-love and self-care. And a lot of brands has actually tapped into that concept, which is really great for Wonyoung herself. I don't know if I am going to have those kind of self-care and self-love routine, but hopefully that concept could actually bring you to the fullest of yourself, to be confident, to be, self-love, reflecting all of that goodness inside your heart. So here you go, Samuda, the coolest and loveliest track this week on Ardan Flight 40.
Number 9.
You're still listening to 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. That was Bang Bang by Ivan Samuda, sitting on the 7th position this week on Arden Flight 40 on the 768th edition this week. And of course, I'm still going to be flying you around till 3 p.m. So we're going to go ahead to our next destination, because at number 6, we have Miles Smith featuring Niall Horan with Drive Safe. And coming up next onto the top 5, we also have Nick Jonas with Sweet to Me. This song has climbed up 10 positions since last week on Arden Flight 40 chart in Samuda, with only 5 weeks on the chart. And on number 4, before we go ahead to introduce you the top 3 on Arden Flight 40, on number 4, we have a song that climbed up 10 positions since last week. We have Joji with Hotel California, a cool and calm song for you to enjoy your drive. And of course, we're going to start out with the number 6, Miles Smith and Niall Horan with Drive Safe. And of course, for all of you that is driving right now, drive safe. All right?
Number 6.
It's 105.9 FM, Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. And you're still listening to Arden Flight 40, which that Joji by Hotel California is our number 4 this week on Arden Flight 40. So we're gonna go ahead and climb up to the next position, because onto the top 3, we have our greatest gainer this week on Arden Flight 40 in Samuda. Came from a boy group that is set to come to Jakarta later this year, and it has been confirmed. Cordes with Mention Me. The song is also the original soundtrack for the film GOAT, which is directed by Stephen Curry himself, which is also a basketball animated movie. You guys should go check that out later. And on our number 1, oh no, not our number 1, I'm sorry for the mix-up. Our runner-up this week is our number 2. Climbed up 10 positions since last week. We have Somber with Homewrecker in Samuda. So here we go. Let's give a listen to our greatest gainer this week on Arden Flight 40.
The greatest gainers this week. Flight 40.
Number 3.
You're listening to 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. And of course, you're still flying with me, your pilot for today. This is Awa speaking, and you're still flying on Arden Flight 40 on the 768th edition. That was Homewrecker by Somber in Samuda as our runner-up this week on Arden Flight 40, because this song has climbed up 10 positions since last week on the chart. And of course, because we have already met our runner-up as our second place this week. I'm sorry about that. This week on Arden Flight 40. That means now is the time for us to reveal the number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40. And here you go. Our number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40 is... That feels so cool using the sound effect. But by the way, the number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40 is Zayn with Die For Me in Samuda. This song has been on the chart for 5 weeks in a row and has climbed up 10 positions since last week, making it the number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40. Once again, congratulations, Zayn!
This is the number 1 track on Ardan Flight 40. Flight 40.
You're listening to 105.9 FM Arden Radio, Arden Still Alive. And that, in Samuda, is our number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40. It's been really cool. It's been really, really great. I'm really happy to be flying you today through the number 1 this week on Arden Flight 40. And it is, I can't really put a ring on it. Put a pin on it. Put a ring on it. Because it has been... give or take 4 hours since I have flown you today on this beautiful Sunday, 15th of March 2026. And before we wrap up for today, my producer, aka Steven, is gonna have a word for you all. Yeah, you can start.
This is my quotes in my life.
Your quote.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give a quote of the day.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Everything is gonna be alright.
Everything is.
That's
all?
it.
That's all? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Steven. And of course, everything is gonna be alright because we're gonna be back with another chart that is, of course, contains only the coolest and loveliest track on next week, ARDAN Flight 40. And yeah, but first of all, before we close up the day, I want to say thank you so much for all of you that has flown for today's ARDAN Flight 40. Thank you so much for my producer slash scriptwriter, Rizal, aka Steven. Thank you so much for our program director, Dimasta, music director Awan Yuda, supervisor Guntur, sound designer Berlan and Jojo, and of course our studio crew, Sansan, Fulki, and Rizal. And of course, we can't forget about the labels. We have Sony Music, Universal, and Warner. And with that being said, thank you so much once again, and I'll see you same time next week, every Sunday, bringing you only the coolest and loveliest track on the countdown on Flight 40 every 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. But now on, I'm gonna go ahead and, bring myself to a mall and get a new shopping spree and all. I'll wish you all to stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay cool and lovely. Bye-bye-bye!
105.9, stay